we doing this already? Am I missing this? Starting at 8? I thought it was starting at 10.
Yeah, I changed it to 7:45 your time. So if you could join us now, that'd be terrific.
Okay, well, I need to get up out of bed.
Well, I was asleep 5 minutes ago, and so just let's do this, okay? I'm fine. Is this all right? It's time once again for window shopping. That moment in time where everything comes together to make an automotive experience unlike any other. Here's your host, Tony Quiroga.
Welcome to Window Shop with Car and Driver. This is I think we went bi-weekly. Sorry, we missed last week. Everyone was traveling. And this is the show where we shop for cars online based on a challenge. This week's challenge was to find fuel efficient and fun cars. So I think we're going to have a lot of arguments about what constitutes fuel economy and what's actually a fun car too. But that remains to be seen. We're joined this week by Deputy Testing Director, Mr. Casey Colwell, Senior Editor Joey Caparella, Senior Editor Greg Fink is joining us for the first time. Welcome, Greg.
Good to be here.
And the Road and Track's favorite Senior Editor, Mr. John Pearley Huffman.
It's a favorite.
All right, Mr. Huffman, I know it's early for you.
It's very early.
You want to kick it off, or do you want to?
Sure,
How can you tell?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Hold on a second. Let me figure out. I'm doing this on my iPad today, so hold on a second. Kind of review.
Don't worry, Carlos will edit this all out.
No, he won't. He'll emphasize it. He'll figure out some way to make.
I think this is the exact situation that happened to Jeff Toobin, where it's like switch camera.
No, it's not the exact same situation what happened to Jeff Toobin.
Well, let's not hope, but I think this is how it happened. He was like, switch camera. Oh no.
No.
Hey, all right, let's get to work.
Yeah, this will not be a situation like Jeff Toobin's.
If we ever needed that technical difficulties bumper, it's now.
My computer.
Oh, you did it! Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting car. It's a Nissan NX, a 30-year-old Nissan NX. I think it's a 1600, not a 2000.
It is the 1600. It's not the 2000.
Right, which gets better fuel economy. But these are neat cars because they're essentially the same as the Sentra, but with a more interesting body. And I think that, and the thing I think is that even though it's a 31-year-old car, I think it still looks pretty contemporary.
Oh, it's right.
Is it a
drive.
JDM?
This is
And
right-hand drive.
automatic.
Yeah, this has got look at this instrument panel.
So this is JDM. This is a JDM.
This is a JDM with only 10,000. I think it's got 10,000 miles on it.
Did they sell the 1600 in the US? I always thought it was just the 2000.
No, they sold the 1600,
Yeah.
and it had like 105 horsepower. I think it didn't have a
Yeah,
lot
it was slow.
Combined 27 mpg.
with the 4-speed automatic.
Yep.
But look at that.
Automatic probably
Originally,
had it.
originally it was 30, but
Okay.
in 07, 08, whenever they regraded them, it went down to 27.
Was the manual more fuel efficient?
I would think
I
so.
would guess yes.
Yeah.
In that era, yes. So 91.
I mean, Pearley might pick up a few more MPG with those wheel covers. Those
Yeah,
Aero
those are
wheel
awesome.
covers.
The Aero wheel covers.
As wheel covers go, those are pretty good ones.
I think this is I think for a 31-year-old car, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, this is an ovoid. This sort of introduced ovoid design into the 90s. Which
What I find interesting is it's located in Smyrna, Tennessee. Isn't that where the plant is?
It is. So there's probably there's a Nissan enthusiast that
Yeah.
Oh, it's at Duncan. Casey's.
Yeah, it's a Duncan.
Oh, it's a Duncan? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dunkin' Imports, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It shows 16,281. I think that's kilometers. So it's so that's only that's like 10,000 miles.
But how's
And,
the fuel economy going to be impacted when you take the T-tops off?
I don't know if this one has T-tops. I think this
Oh,
one
it
doesn't.
does. I see that center spine.
In that case, it's going to be affected positively.
I don't know if this one has T-tops. Wait.
What's that center spine?
I
then?
think it does. I can see something on the roof, but there's not a good angle.
I can't tell. Oh yeah, it looks like it. Go back one, Pearly. Kinda. Yeah, it looks like it's got.
But wait,
It's got
where's it?
T-tops. It's got
Yeah,
T-tops. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure
Oh
it
yeah,
does.
it's got T-tops.
I think they're okay. that's my presentation. Thank you very much for playing.
So Pearley, what's fun? Well, I mean, you have to defend the fun portion of this since we know the fuel economy, and that's not really.
I think the fun portion is, first of all, this is the, I don't remember what the name of this. This is the same chassis as the Sentra of that generation, which was
It is
a great chassis. It's a fun, light handling car. It's a very nice handling car. It's not going to be fast. It's going to be very reliable. It's a very interesting looking car. You're not going to see another one all day long. It's right-hand drive, which is itself an interesting take. But at the same point in time, even though it's right-hand drive, parts are going to be pretty common and pretty easy to find.
right.
So it should be a pretty easy car to maintain and keep on the road. It should be economical to operate, and it's a good conversation piece. That's all. It's nothing fancy, nothing great. It's 15 grand. You probably get it for less. I think my dog is chewing on me. So that would be
You're
What's
saying
the good
that
conversation that comes from it besides
The-
why did you pay 15 grand for this thing?
yeah. Well, the thing is that I would not pay 15 grand. I think it's a $12,000 car. It's only got 10,000 miles on it.
Pearley, did you see the Sentra SER with 445 miles that was on Bring a Trailer? Did you see it?
No, there was this. What
It
year?
went for like $33,000.
Yeah, I was gonna make Pearley guess what it went for.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Well, that's a car I love.
I thought they would go for way more. I thought they would
too, I
go
was
for like
surprised.
You know, how
40,
rare,
50.
you can't find SERs anyplace.
No, Pearley, this one was brand new. It was 445 miles, original everything. It was
Oh
amazing.
man, I think they stole it at 33 grand. I think that's-
I kind of felt that way too. I thought, compared to that Civic Si that went for what, like 50 or 60?
Yeah, I mean, people don't remember the SER like they did. Hold on a second, Caroline, shut up. And people don't remember. What is it with you? I'm trying to have an important conversation with people who might hire me sometime in the future. And so
Not anymore.
what is it
This
with you?
couldn't be more perfect. Pearley at home.
What? That's my dog.
All
My
right,
one dog I
Pearley.
have left. My one dog I have left.
Joey, do you think you can beat that fuel economy and fun?
I think I can.
I want to talk more about the SER.
That's for another episode.
Okay.
So I found a Honda Civic Sport hatchback with manual transmission. And the fuel economy, according to the EPA, is sorry. The fuel economy, according to the EPA, is pretty good. So 29, 38, 33 combined. But we tested one back in 2017. And the highway fuel economy on our real world test far surpassed the EPA rating. So
Wow.
at 75 miles per hour, which is quite a bit faster than the EPA cycle, we got 43 miles per gallon. And even our observed, I think that's pretty remarkably high at 31.
That's pretty high for us.
Given
yeah.
the way that we drive, our results are usually well below the city, but in this case, we beat the city rating. So 7 seconds to 60, pretty darn quick. It's a great chassis. I mean, this generation of Civic was kind of like a real return to excellence for this model. And I feel like this version specifically, so it's the hatchback Sport came with the turbo engine, the 1.5 liter, 180 horsepower, 6-speed manual, and it was one of the cheapest Civics you could get, but I always thought it was kind of one of the most fun.
Weren't these made in England? Aren't these made in
Yeah,
England?
so all the hatchbacks were
five
made
doors.
in the UK, which is no longer the case with the new model, but
It
all the
looks
hatchbacks
really
of
good.
this
The
gen-
profile is really cool looking. I forgot how cool looking these
You know,
were.
I happen to have one of these in the from Honda right now, a 2022 version,
Yeah.
and it's a really sweet car. I'd rather have an
Yeah.
SI, but it's still a really sweet car.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like not quite as sharp as the SI in terms of the steering and the suspension tuning, but
Yeah.
I kind of found it a little more playful in some ways when I would drive the sport hatchbacks. Like it feels really light and fun and tossable.
Let's talk about
I
the
always love
fake
those,
venting on the rear bumper.
Yeah, so that's the thing about the new 22 model is that it looks a lot better, but it's pretty much the same platform and engine and stuff.
I like the
So-
center. The center exhaust is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool that you get that on like kind of a lower trim model. Still.
Yeah.
What
But the
about
one
that
is-
infotainment system with no touchscreen?
Yeah, this was pretty for the first few years of the Civic hatchback on the Sport that you got this really basic infotainment. I think for the 2019 or 2020 model year, they added the bigger screen on the Sport. So maybe that's the one to have, but they're harder
But
to
Joey,
find
wasn't
anymore.
the upgrade, at least on the early ones, wasn't the upgrade the touchscreen that didn't have a volume knob?
Yeah, the early ones, the better touchscreen was actually like kind of more annoying to use, but the
Right.
later ones, I think once they added the volume knob, it was
Right.
better. So maybe if you could find like a 2020, that would be better, but
Yeah, the
they're more
NSX
expensive.
inherited the Civic's no volume knob touchscreen infotainment.
yeah,
And
that's pretty
still
bad.
uses it.
Yeah,
I know,
like,
it's
to the very
crazy.
end. Well, they didn't sell a lot of them, Greg, so I think making the switch over.
How much could it
Yeah.
cost to when they made the Type S just to add a volume knob?
Well,
I know,
They
I
have
was-
it in all
what
the
it
other
is?
cars now.
Oh, probably a lot. I mean, they're only
Millions.
making 250.
But when you add a volume knob, you probably have to crash certify the whole interior.
Yeah,
I know
those things are
probably-
dangerous.
They decided it wasn't worth it. I like
No,
this.
they obviously did decide it was worth it because they don't sell this in volume.
Right, exactly. They had,
Yeah.
and I mean, that the factory had the 350 that they needed for the Type S run. So just sitting in the factory probably.
I always
Yeah.
like this gauge cluster too because it's so tack forward, and the upper trim Civics get like a digital display, but I think this like actually looks better and more.
The current
simple.
the current one's better.
So this car has 60,000 miles. How
Yeah,
much is it,
60,000
Joey?
miles is 22 grand, which is kind of high, honestly. I think that's basically what it was new.
Yeah.
But you know, with the market the way it is, I guess that's what you
What
get.
kind of tires are on it?
It has Goodyear all seasons, I think. So maybe
There's
if you-
Pilot Sports on them. That's why for $22,000 you get a car with Pilot Sports, right?
no, it's not Pilot. But I was thinking if you were to swap the Civic Si, the big difference is that you can get summer tires. The engine is the same, it's a little more horsepower. But if you were to swap summer tires onto this,
Yeah, you'd have.
it's
pretty
really close to an SI.
Those adaptive dampers were a big deal on the SI of that.
Yeah,
gen,
that's
though,
true. The
too.
previous gen SI had adaptive dampers. The new one actually doesn't have them.
There's
So-
some wheel
I
ram.
don't miss them. I don't miss them at all. You know, the
Yeah,
thing is,
like-
the thing that's interesting about the 1.5 liter engine is it's really nicely torquey.
Yeah.
It's a very pleasant engine to live with every day.
Mhm.
So on the Sport, the engine made 180 horsepower, and on the
Yep.
SI it made 205. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the new SI makes 200 now.
Yeah, they
Lost
redid
5
the
horses.
torque curve and changed it around a little bit.
And no adaptive dampers.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe the new SI is a little bit decontented, but I still really like it. But anyway, this one is a lot cheaper than the SI. I mean, I don't know what a used SI goes for these days, but it also, I did look up the SI fuel economy. I think it got like 38 in our highway fuel economy
Oh, so
test,
it wasn't as good. Interesting.
which is pretty good, but not as good as this. I mean, this
It's
is
those
43
vents.
is
It could be those summer tires too.
And how much
Yeah.
quicker is the SI? It's not that much quicker. It's like
it's like half a second quicker.
It's a
I feel like this is a pretty good, you get the hatchback with more space, you get better fuel economy. It's probably cheaper than an equivalent SI.
and you get that English crafty.
Yeah, British craftsmanship, exactly.
Well, they make good Civics. They make good.
yeah,
Hondas.
it's Honda.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's,
sure they
you know,
do.
not-
They're British.
I haven't heard about any significant differences in
Right.
the UK or US
don't know.
built one.
I'm very much anti-British.
What if the British built a Tundra though?
The British built a Tundra, they'd figure out how to screw it up.
You okay there, Pearley?
My dog is. Hi.
All right. Thank you, Joey. That was an interesting choice. So 33 miles per gallon, 0 to 60 in 7.
43 miles per gallon.
Yeah, you're picking and choosing there.
It's our test. I always choose our
but we
test.
don't have
Okay,
our
fair
test for
enough.
all the cars, so we
Yeah,
can't.
I
we
don't
can't
have-
rely on
It's
that.
hard to compare, but I just want to
So,
put that.
The,
All
the-
right,
the
Greg,
official
you wanna-
the official record will be EPA stuff.
Okay,
All right,
fine.
Greg, or at least a tiebreaker. Greg, it's your
Oh,
first time on
I've got
window
Joey
shop.
beat. I've
What's
got
that?
Joey beat on the fuel economy side, and depends on how we define fun. Where is my share screen button?
I
So
Hey, we practiced.
here we go.
I don't think that defining fun is very difficult.
No, because here,
I mean-
Cadillac ELR, not very fun in the sense of like tossable, but if you're one of those people who's trying to get the most miles per gallon, lots of fun to
Where's your
go
listing?
drive this thing.
Did you find a listing?
Oh yeah, the listing. Let's look at nice old Calvin F in North Carolina. His 2014 ELR for 23,999.
That's really
82,000
cheap for one
miles.
of these.
Not that good of pictures. Sorry, Calvin, but you know, good looking car from what we can tell.
Yeah, what were these? These were like $75,000, right?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
were
we tested
expensive.
one in 2014 with a 75,995 base price and an 82,135 price
Wow.
is tested.
But when they were new,
And-
they had like 20 grand off to try to move.
Like they
them.
never
These are
sold for
not-
sticker.
Yeah, these are not selling. Yeah.
And
Well,
they
I don't
look
think it was ever
amazing.
designed to sell.
Well, they're
Yeah, they
basically
look amazing still though.
I mean, seriously, wasn't this car basically just made for to get credits?
That
I
and I
mean,
think to
yeah.
maximize some of the development money they put in for
Into
the
the
vault
vault. Yeah.
or vault platform that it was sitting on.
Yeah.
Because this
Yeah.
has more.
Are you
has
saying
more
this is
horsepower.
GM's? This is GM's Continental, Bentley Continental.
Yeah,
Very much.
kind of.
I-
Except the
you know-
Bentley Continental was way more profitable and people wanted it.
yeah. I mean, the thing, this is ridiculously priced as this car was and everything else like that. I still think it's a great looking car.
It's
Yeah, the
it looks like a
design.
show car. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the
And
dash,
the interior craftsmanship is great, even if like the touchscreen stuff still sucks.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
probably
early
even worse than
Q.
we remember.
That's
Now that
early
it's,
the
Q. That is
slider
not good.
volume. Yeah.
I just
but
remember.
you
I
got
just
it on
remember.
the steering wheel.
Yeah, Cadillac threw all the luxury at it. It's got carbon fiber and wood inlays in the interior.
Every material you can imagine.
And
I just-
piano black. They just said if it's a material, throw it in this car. Look, we got suede,
Alcantara.
leather.
That's what luxury is. All the material.
It's also like, it's one of those things. So I just remember being at the press intro for this thing. They had rented this fancy house up on a hill in Southern California. We're all up at the hill and we're all looking at it. And they said, no, the price is going to be $75,000. And I swear to God, everybody just said, "Are you insane?"
And
Yeah.
Cadillac said, that's
looking
what we
for it.
do.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do things right when it comes to the pricing, but we're going to make the car anyway, and it's going to look good. And we won't sell it and we'll complain later.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a rare bird. There aren't a
You know,
lot of.
but I think
Yeah.
if they'd sold these for 45, I think they would have sold some.
Yeah, like a 20% premium over Volt would have
A Volt.
probably.
Right.
Yeah, and,
And the
look,
Volt-
to go back to our specs too, look, we got 37 miles per gallon observed on this thing, which is pretty solid given the way we drive. And once it was off EV mode, it's only getting 33 miles per gallon.
Which is still pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's good, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but-
efficient.
How
Yeah,
quick
it
was it, Greg? They were like in the full.
Very slow in EV mode.
right.
Okay, and we got 8.1 seconds with its extended range mode as like a hybrid going, and we even wrote feel seat of the pants quicker in extended range mode because it was 9
Who
seconds.
tested it?
Casey wrote it, so maybe I
I think I
assume
probably
he might have tested it.
Yeah, these are
So
cool.
yeah, if there's
I
anything in these
actually
test notes that we want to rag on KC for, now's the time.
I
Although all of
have
this seems right.
I have some memories of this car, which are kind of sad. I took my dog Grady to the vet to be put down after he had cancer.
Oh God, really? I put down my other dog this week. It's just bad week.
Yeah, we're just
Dogs.
bringing everyone down with dead dogs.
Oh, I'm reading.
It's the perfect car though, because Cadillac had to put this thing down eventually too.
Yeah.
And this car's kind of a dog. I mean, not
It's kind of a dog, but
performance.
it's lovable in its own way too.
No, I do like these. I think it's a good choice.
It's an interesting
Yeah,
choice.
and
It's an
it's,
interesting
again,
choice. I don't know if it's a good choice. But fair enough.
yeah, I'm not getting the fun out of it.
It's fun if
It'd be-
you're
it's
into
a cool
like
car.
hypermiling. And it's
Yeah.
still,
Hypermiling
I've driven
isn't
it. I
fun.
know it's not like
sorry.
fun in the
I
sense
don't-
of how a Civic hatch is, but the battery pack's mounted low. It corners pretty well. It is more fun than a lot of other things.
And
But
it makes
Greg?
it has a presence that you're not going to get for less money.
Greg,
That's-
go back one, Greg. Look at the intersection
Oh.
of the no, go back to that one. Yeah, the intersection of the door panel and the dashboard. There's Alcantara, wood, some glossy metal, carbon
carbon.
fiber, and leather.
Yeah,
all in
that's a
one
lot
place.
going on.
Yeah.
and
still-
orange hue from the dome lights up ahead, but like this bluish, theme in the infotainment system.
It's like they used
They
all
basically
this.
said we have a lot of extra stuff here. let's just put it in.
I mean, if you're
What-
looking for a conversation starter, I might go with this instead of an NX 1600.
You might.
Well, what
Might.
I like
Depends
about
what kind of
materials, too.
conversation you want to have.
I feel like GM that people were like, how are we going to make this car feel like luxury? And they're like, well, carbon fiber's luxury, wood's luxury. Nobody could say like, what is the luxury? And they're like, just, okay, we'll put it all in.
Yeah,
Somebody's
it's
gonna
got
be
piano
satisfied.
black, everything. It's
You
got
think-
everything.
But it also might have been too expensive to do wood in all the shapes that were plastic. That you know, because it's I think it's probably cheaper to make a complex shape out of carbon fiber than it is to make a complex wood veneer, right?
Yeah.
So
At
all the wood,
75K,
all the
what would
wood is pretty
85K be
basic.
for this car to get wood everywhere though? Like at that point, GM, just go all in.
And this is
Commit.
75,000, 76,000, 8 years ago.
Do you think there's somebody out there who paid full boat for one of these?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
100%.
At
Yeah,
least a
so-
few.
Yeah.
There's always one idiot.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Now we make him feel better about it by mentioning calling him an idiot.
I mean,
Alright,
total
Calvin, if that's you,
sales
I'm
under
sorry,
under
Calvin,
3,000 of these were made. Were
Over a
sold.
few years, right?
Yeah. So they only 2 model years. They skipped the 2015 model year. And then when the 2016 model year came out, it was $10,000 cheaper.
And they had
Right.
updated the powertrain, I think.
Yes, they added.
Yeah, they got that. Yeah, that was the.
I think it went to like 236 horsepower or something.
I got, I just think that, let me see, GM called it the Voltec platform. And I thought that it was actually a pretty neat piece of work.
Yeah,
And I
way
and
ahead
I
of
think
its
they,
time.
yeah, and I thought they abandoned it too early because I think it's still a viable idea.
Yeah.
This is a serial hybrid. It's not a parallel hybrid like a Prius.
I know people who have
Well, I mean, that's okay.
I know people who have a second gen Volt who really like it because the EV range is much better.
Are you guys not watching what's happening in
Yeah,
Pearley?
I'm seeing it. I'm in
Tug of
disbelief.
war. How can we look away?
All
Okay,
right,
but it's
Mr.
thank you very
Colwell.
much. Yeah, it did sell well, but I think I still think GM gave up on the concept too easily.
Yes, GM often gives up on great concepts too early.
Yeah.
The Opel that they sold in Europe was pretty cool too.
Oh, the Ampera, wasn't that? what
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. All right, so here we go. Share screen. So I went with an early Honda Fit. This is a 2008. It's under 11 grand. It's a manual, 60,000 mile, 200
Wow.
car.
Great.
Isn't that? I like that blue too.
The
That's
blue's
pretty
great. Yep. And these you can identify it as a sport because it has kind of the little body kit and the alloy wheels. Big difference, if I'm remembering correctly, the big difference between the chassis on the Sport versus all the other Fits is that it got a rear anti-roll bar.
Yeah. that's great.
And this is one of those cars where it handles really well, and you just got to maintain momentum, and they're so darn narrow. I remember we used to do this double lane change test, and this car at the time set the record for fastest through that test, mainly because it's a function of how narrow the car is and you could slide it.
Yeah.
Is that the factory shift knob?
No, that's
Oh,
an
yeah.
S2000 or S2000 knockoff.
no,
shift
I don't
knob.
think that
And,
was on.
and
the
what's that on
factory.
the A-pillar? Did they add a boost gauge or something, even though there's no turbo?
Oh, it's a button of some sort.
That I didn't see. Hold on.
Oh, there you go.
Uh-oh, this car's been screwed with.
Is
I
that the
didn't notice
NOS?
that.
Is that the NOS?
It might
Yeah.
be the NOS.
Casey, how much horsepower? These are 100 horsepower, 100.
109 horsepower. So these were here. We can go where
It was a 10 best winner for a long time.
It was
Yeah.
it was a 10
Which
best
is a
winner
second generation,
all the
too.
time.
And
Where's
Casey,
my-
is there a shot of the way the rear seats fold?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the best part about it.
Yeah.
So these were like 9 seconds to 60. Not fast. So yeah, it doesn't show it here, but the idea of getting a bike standing upright in the back of this thing, they're incredibly
Yeah.
practical. But the seat bottom folds up,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole thing comes down. I think they call it like the magic seat. They had a
Yeah,
name
is there
for
a
it.
shot of the seats?
Yeah, there's the
folding in a
shift. There's
listing?
the factory shift knob. That's a little different.
And you sit on
Yeah.
top of the gas tank to make that happen. So knock on wood, if the worst happens, it's not going to end well for you. You're right on top of everything. That's
Listen
flammable.
here, battery fire.
Oh yeah, you're right. ELR is not much better.
But but yeah, I mean, next to a.
Casey,
it's
will you go
either-
to the listing?
Yeah, I will go.
Are there any shots of the seats folded in the listing?
No, I do
Uh-uh.
not believe there are. I went through it before. And
So
Yeah,
I had a 2009 Fit, which was the first year of the second generation. But I always thought that the first gen had kind of a cooler interior. Like the second gen was bigger and I think it was still really fun to drive, but this interior is just kind of like more interesting.
Yeah, one of Casey, one of our coworkers or former coworkers painted his Chevelle in this color because it was.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
close
that
to-
blue.
Yeah, for the Chevy blue.
What
Hey,
I like
Jared?
about it, yeah, what I like about these Fits, it's this era of, remember the C6 Corvette and all the Ferraris had it, where it's like, let's just paint the inner lamp surround the same color as the bodywork.
Oh, that's true. That was like a Ferrari 360 thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just an
Are you talking-
era-specific thing. You don't see that anymore.
No, that's true.
You don't see enough guys in bike shorts in Car and Driver.
Yeah.
Well, not since you left, Pearley.
Well,
31 MPG combined. We averaged on our long-term test. This is pretty telling too. We averaged
That's good.
33.
So we matched the city figure.
Yeah,
These things are
and-
not great highway cars, though. They're pretty noisy.
No, they're not. Although
they're pretty
caption
noisy,
there-
but is driving on the highway fun? No.
No,
that
that's-
caption right there says it cruises easily at 80 miles per hour.
Yeah,
But
because
by the
it's-
way,
What do you
I
think it's
did- yeah,
spinning at
cruises.
80 though? The final
Yeah.
drive
I mean,
ratio
my-
must be so short.
yeah,
My Fit
exactly.
at 80 miles per hour, my Fit was at like 3,800 RPM in fifth.
I think the gearing on these is even shorter than that.
Yeah.
by the way, I never.
And mine
left
didn't have
Tony.
cruise control.
Of course. It
Anyway.
did. Oh, you had the
Base
stripper.
model.
Saving weight.
Oh, you
I got plenty.
tires.
I got plenty of money also to buy some 17-inch wheels because there's almost no 16-inch tire fitments, and get a decent all-season tire on there. And then I'd also
What was the
run-
standard? Wasn't the standard one a 15 or was it a 16?
It was a,
Color
so the
wheels
sta-
are
so
different.
I think it was a 205 45 16.
No, it was a
No, it's not.
195.
It's
Yeah,
not
Yeah, maybe it was a 15.
It's a
I think it was a
195.
No,
15.
the standard or the sport. This car was a 205 45 16.
Really?
I just
My
like that-
car, the base one, the 2009 was like a 185 15.
I think these were
But maybe the
195,
sport-
55, 15. Let's see what Tire Rack says.
All right, let's go down. I mean, I wasn't here like 15 minutes ago or anything, so
Well, then I guess you're going to win the bet.
07
Well, don't
Fit
we have the
Sport.
data to this specific car somewhere and we can pull up exactly what its tires were when we tested it?
195 15.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, why are there
195,
two?
15.
Yeah, because the sport is the 205 45 16.
But you just selected
Search
sport.
sport.
I think it's a 15. I really
Okay,
do.
all right. Let's
Is
let's
it
go
a draw?
back to
Who
here.
wins the bet?
Wait, no. There's no draw because I'm gonna pull up the track sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
that's-
come on. Big
Steve
bucks,
Gunn.
no whammies.
Hey.
You don't want to give Tony his Pilot Sport chubby here with the tires?
Oh man, now I'm sitting here going through my head and I'm like, wait, was there an accessory tire that was that?
I
was
think
that
there
odd
was.
16?
Casey's not sharing that track sheet. I think that's telling.
No. Well,
This was
I'm
the
sharing.
era
I'm
of
sharing screen. I mean, do you
Scion.
want me to change it and share the desktop Honda Fit Sport long term?
Yeah, because even
Initial, we're gonna do this together.
Sport was only a 185.
Yep, I was wrong.
Yes.
There you go. 195 55 15.
I don't know. if you
Yeah, I
actually-
wonder what. I wonder what that one is. Well, here wait. Let's
Yeah,
see.
maybe it's accessory wheel.
It must. Yeah, there must have been an accessory wheel.
But yeah, there's
Um,
no good. When I was shopping for tires for my
Yeah.
Fit, there's
Yeah, I
no
mean-
good 15-inch option.
Well, you can get a Le Pen G Fit for your Fit.
No, that's good. Yeah, a G Fit for your fit.
That tire is horrible. I'm sorry. I'm just guessing.
No,
Yeah,
I've
they're
never-
they're loafing their way to the bank when you buy it.
Oh,
God.
Oh,
Here come the
wow.
Oh
great.
puns.
God.
I'm about to be a father. I got to get working on these. So hey.
Yeah, you got it. And your stand-up career is.
anyway,
That's a good
Honda Fit,
choice.
fun to drive, fuel efficient, very practical.
Mhm.
All right, I have a controversial pick.
Oh,
Now, my
God.
fuel economy is better than all of your fuel economies, but and I have to pitch that this is a fun car to drive. You guys might not be convinced, but I picked the Honda Insight, the first generation Honda Insight, aluminum
Sorry,
car.
fail.
Like a Ferrari 360, the rear track is narrower than the front track.
Oh God.
It's got fender skirts, which none of your cars have.
No, yeah, like a 1959 Cadillac.
It's got the S2000 steering wheel minus the leather wrap.
Shared an assembly line with the S2000.
That's
And
right.
the NSX.
I mean, the interior is kind of similar.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, Casey. Built at the same factory as the original NSX and the S2000. This one's a manual. The second year ones offered a CVT, which is not nearly as good or as efficient. These aren't quick cars, though. Let me pull up the.
No, not quick is not. It's not the right word. They are
But it is
slow.
a two-seater.
They're slow.
Yeah, they're pretty slow. Let me
Okay.
find my road test here. So Dan Neal wrote the road test.
Interesting.
Sure did.
What are
I mean,
happening
you're looking at the best is like a 10.6.
Oh yeah. Let's see what our as tested fuel economy was.
Didn't they have some? Yeah, there's that sidebar about they had some challenge for the journalists to
Yeah,
see
we
who could get the
cheated.
most.
And
Oh, we didn't cheat.
no, we
No,
cheated. That's
we
Tony, that's
took advantage
cheating.
of the
I'm sorry,
rules.
that's cheating. Let's
So we did.
Don
0 to
Sherman was
60.
involved. It's cheating.
So 0 to 60 with a full charge, 10.6 seconds, partial charge, 12.3, empty battery, 13.3.
This was a manual as well.
Yeah, this is a manual. Yeah, this is first year car. So it had
Yeah.
a tiny little 1,000 cc 1 liter engine with 67 horsepower. And then they added, it had the motor off of the flywheel, right, Casey?
Yeah, it was so that's the I can't remember what it Honda calls it, but yeah, they basically replaced the
The
flywheel with an electric motor.
IMA.
IMA,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
the IMA. That's
And
what
this is the car that caused Toyota marketing to coin the phrase mild hybrid,
Mm.
because it could not propel itself
solely on
under
electric power.
totally on electric alone. So
Yeah, but
that was-
2,089 pounds for a hybrid. I mean, that's
very light.
with a little, I mean, it had a small battery pack, granted. But
you're
these
probably gonna have to replace that battery pack. Are you still gonna be under budget with it?
Well, but it's always one of the great stories of Car and Driver is the Don Schrader, Don Sherman conspiracy to get this thing over like 100 miles per gallon.
That's right. And we asked, is drafting legal? And they said we can use any draft vehicle of our, and we can draft any vehicle of our choosing, any vehicle you want, said Honda. And so what did we get? What did we end up getting? We won the
An
competition.
excursion.
Excursion.
We got 121.7 miles per gallon.
And they had the doors open for that excursion the whole time, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
there was a brace. There was a
Right in
brace
front of
in the back between the
crazy.
rear doors to spread it out, and then
That's right. They created.
there was this
that.
whole skirt, and that skirt it's like a plastic like giant mud flap for your trailer type of thing, but then they put basically a steel frame behind it so it was rigid. That thing was at our like mud flap thing was at our office for a
So
long
to get
I like how that's the
121 miles
cover
per
and-
gallon, you had to burn 9 miles per gallon in front of you.
What's your
What
point?
was- What
What's
was
your
the
point?
as tested? Hang on.
as tested fuel economy.
Yeah. Let me see.
As tested fuel economy was 47.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's
I'll
not
see
fun.
all of you
Tony,
guys.
Tony, it's not fun.
No,
not
these are
fun.
kind of fun. I mean,
No,
they've got
no,
a great
no,
Honda
no,
manual
no.
transmission. They're
No.
not quick. They're not quick, but they're fun to drive.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're lightweight, interesting little sporty 2-seat cars.
Not sporty. Just because it has 2 seats doesn't make it sporty.
It's got a rear wiper.
And a split rear window type hatch too.
That's right. Just like a Lamborghini Espada.
Also, just like a
It's a
Prius.
camtail.
Damn tail, that's the word.
So it's indistinguishable from a Lamborghini Espada or an NSX.
It's
or
3
an
decibels
S2000.
Yeah, you're really
louder. It's 3
grasping
decibels
at
louder than the
straws
Honda Fit at 70 miles
comparison.
an hour. So-
Yeah. I
And it,
drove
what,
one
it
of-
has a 3-cylinder engine too, so it's basically a GR Corolla.
When I worked at Automobile, I drove one of these to New York, and I gotta say, on a freeway, it wasn't that much fun.
Yeah,
I will
wasn't-
stop for that.
wait a second, Tony. Let's go to that phrase again. What did you say?
On a
Not
freeway,
fun.
just like the Honda
Not
Fit.
fun. Not fun.
You think your NX 1600 is ever going to be fun?
Yes.
This car is all aluminum.
The NX 1600 has a great chassis. This car has piece of Reynolds wrap between its wheels.
Look,
I mean, I
they
will
will
say this
deliver.
guy's
If you're-
saying he's selling it because he bought a 67 Beetle, which is fun in its own way, but not fun to drive. The steering on those is like useless. Like that's how not fun this is. He's like the 67 Beetle's more
Well, his
enjoyable.
daughter's. It says his daughter's driving the Beetle. So
I think that's an
guy that
excuse.
I literally just drove a 67 Beetle, a restored 67 Beetle, and it was fine.
the guy that I bought my Lotus Elise from had 2 of these. Like he had moved on to the next cool thing, he thought. So that's a recommendation.
He's like he was kind of a weirdo.
Yeah,
I
telling
do have
you.
to say though again,
So-
how
so
unsafe
in other-
must this car be that this guy feels more comfortable with his daughter in a 67 Beetle?
Yeah, that's
Than this.
telling.
Yeah.
I just want you to know is that a guy who goes from an Elise to this just shows that has a series of bad ideas.
Oh, come
He's
on.
made- He's made poor decisions throughout his life.
No way. This is a great car. It's on its original Bridgestone Potenza RE92s, which I also sourced.
Oh God.
165. Wow. That's
Man,
amazing.
RE92s.
Because I'm way under budget.
That was OE on first gen WRX.
Yep. This is like a fuel efficient one. Where is it?
Ow! Jeez, you bit me. Sorry.
All right. With that, we are to the part of the show where we judge each other's picks and crown a winner. Mr. Huffman, what did we think of your NX 1600? I'm going to give you a sideways. If you found the fuel efficiency isn't that good and it's not fun. You found an automatic with right-hand drive.
Yeah,
I'm
going
just
sideways.
I'm
Yeah.
It's interesting car.
I'm not
but
I'm peeling the
not for
band-aid
this.
off.
And this is for the T-tops. Otherwise, you'd be down.
Yeah, well, who cares?
All right, Pearley, what's your favorite car? What was your favorite?
There's not a car here that I have any great affection for. They're all kind of like but if I was going to pick one to drive, it's fun. I'd have to pick, the one that comes closest is Joey Civic.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I'm tempted by the ELR just because it's such an interesting car. It's such a rare car. But the Civic, if you're going to drive it every day, the Civic's going to be the one that's going to be the most fun.
Yeah, manual Civic. Yeah,
Yeah.
good choice. All right. Joey, did you go second? You did, right?
Yeah, I had that Civic Sport hatch.
Great choice.
I wish there were a little more materials inside. It's just plastic, no wood or carbon
Need some
fiber or
carbon
suede.
fiber.
But besides that, it was a great choice.
Mr. Caparella, what are you picking?
I'm gonna pick Casey's Fit because I just love the Honda Fit, and that was a good example of it. The blue with the manual and sport. It's pretty ideal.
All right.
Ideal.
In my book,
That's the word.
it's
That's the
ideal.
word of all professional
As a
riders
Fit,
choose
as a
the word
former
ideal.
Fit owner, I can say confidently that
You
is
know, when
my-
when you mentioned that you had a Fit, I sort of thought that Casey might have been going for your vote with that car.
well, it worked.
Well, I didn't know that Joey had a Fit. But no, I drove our long-term Fit a lot. And
Casey, didn't you drive it across the country and the air conditioning froze on you?
I drove it cross country twice actually. When it was super hot and humid, and I could pull that photo up. I could send that photo to Carlos, and he could drop it in. But the coolant lines, are normally whatever, they're like ½ inch or whatever, and they were like this big around. It was just all
Right.
frost. It was frozen.
I mean, isn't Honda AC is like notoriously weak or something? I feel like people say that about Honda
Yeah,
Air.
but I also
You know-
drove it, and they, and because they were so narrow, they tramlined pretty bad, especially out west where studded tires are a thing. But I also we had Noki and Hakkapelitas on the one, and took 2 nice.
What size were
dominated.
those Hakkapelitas?
What's that?
Nothing.
He said,
I
"What's
said,
up?"
what size are those Hakkapelitas?
Yeah, okay.
I remember they took the Fit platform, they turned it into the HRV, and they put a cage around the fuel tank to protect it because it's in the middle of the car. Did the Fits have the cage around the fuel tank too, or did they?
I don't recall.
I don't know.
I don't recall seeing it, but
Did
maybe.
it fit?
They passed crash, so
Right.
I mean,
Well,
although crash was different then, so I mean maybe
Yeah. Well, the HRV is leaving production, so we're going to lose the last of the Fit platform cars.
Yeah, there's a new HRV on the horizon that they.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Civic-
it's on the new one's on the Civic platform, not the Fit platform anymore.
Yeah.
RIP.
All
Although
right,
I never
Greg.
liked the HRV anyway.
Greg's ELR. I like it. Good choice.
I'm gonna
Even
say
though I have
thumbs
some
up,
rough
too.
memories of ELRs.
I think ELR is where it's at.
Well, what do you pick?
I don't
up
think they're very
besides the
fun.
ELR? What's your favorite car besides the ELR? Who do you think?
I gotta say, because I think of this in value terms, and part of what I like about the ELR, and it's your insight, because I think for 6K, you're getting a lot of bang for the buck. That car's only I mean, not that the Fit has a level, there's a spot in people's heart for the Fit, but I don't think that thing's ever going to be worth more than the 10K it is. The Civic's too new. The NX, I think, it's an automatic. It's new. There's not the love for it. There's a weird cult for the insights. I don't think it's ever going to be like a 6-figure car, but I think you will return a profit on that and have, I guess, some fun, fun in the same sense the ELR is fun.
if
It'll
any
be
of the
challenged.
cars, Greg, if any of the cars are going to be in a museum, it's my insight and your car and the ELR.
Yeah. And
Oh,
they're the
oh,
ones
so
that will
that's
have a
what we
weird,
should judge this
passionate
on?
following.
You
It's
know
just
what-
something to
you know what-
consider.
Okay.
That's
You know
not the
what?
challenge.
I know that's not the challenge, so it's fine.
You-
All right.
But
whatever.
it's
Won't be in that
fun in
museum.
its own way.
Well,
It's
well,
cheap. It meets the under 25K mark very well. It's efficient, and fun is it's a spectrum. And
Yeah,
it
you know what's not
reaches
gonna be
fun.
This Greg Tony thing.
Yeah,
This is
you're not gonna
the
be
start of
invited
something not
back.
And-
good.
And
Yeah.
you know what's not going to be in that museum where they have the inside ELR?
What?
Anybody. Any human
Visitor.
Begley Jr. will be.
Attendance. It's not going to be there.
Visitor.
Yeah.
All right, Casey. Great choice. Honda Fit,
Yeah.
first gen, terrific car. Casey. Oh, Pearley. Oh, interesting.
I'm indifferent to the Fit. It's my least favorite Honda.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Hot
You
take.
like the HRV more?
Not much, but slightly more. The HRV is a little bit longer. You can actually, it's a little bit easier to deal with the ride in the HRV. I can't deal with the ride in the Fit.
All right, Pearley. That's fair enough. Casey,
Okay.
what's your favorite? What are you picking? You love
I
it.
mean, I kind of want to burn a vote because, but it's. I mean, yeah, it's the insight. It's the insight because it was a car I almost picked.
Oh, now
There
I
was a
have
lot
to-
of Honda on this episode.
I've got
Yeah.
a tough. Well, they make. fuel
But
efficient cars.
it's a manual. It's super light. It's super high tech. I mean, I don't think hypermiling is fun, but you can drive. You can drive the piss out of that thing and
and
probably never
dip below.
get a speeding ticket.
Yeah, and never dip
Right.
below 45 miles per gallon, even as hard as.
The thing is that
Yeah.
you can drive the piss out of it, and there'd still be more piss. So
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
I don't either, but it's piss.
All right.
Never get a speeding ticket, and if you're on the dating scene, never get anybody's number either.
All right, Honda Insight. What do you guys think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh, Pearly down.
I'll give it a thumbs up.
All right. So let's see. Fit, Joey's Honda Civic, Greg's ELR, or Pearly's NX. I got to go with Joey's pick. Does that 2 votes for you? Are we tied, Joey?
That's 2, yeah.
All right. Well, we can co-share the win this week.
Two very different Hondas.
Yeah,
Mine is
separated
a
by.
real car. Yours is probably not a real car.
Well, mine's aluminum and built in the same factory as the S2000 and NS.
Well, it shows the breadth of what Honda is capable of.
And Joey's cost $22,000 today, which is what it probably costs new.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the knock against it, but it's a good car.
It is a good car.
It is a good car. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Greg. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And leave your.
It's a very
comments-
low,
Sorry.
very low key episode. Very low key episode. This one.
Well, it's very early for you.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
And Alana and Jonathan are traveling this week, so they couldn't join us.
No, that explains it. There's some
That's why you got
comments
stuck
that
with my, my
There's
low keyness.
You did great, Greg. You did great. And you even talked over Pearly a little bit, which is always not easy to do.
Yes.
There's some
I'll
comment
take it.
on the YouTube.
That's why you were
comments saying-
hired.
All they needed me for.
Well, leave in the comments what you think what you guys think is a fuel efficient and fun car, and hit the like button and please subscribe.
No more of these comments where people say that we need to get younger. We need to get
I know
younger.
Greg's young, but Joey's young.
I'm
We're coming
not.
for you.
Well, okay, don't take it personally. It doesn't mean
tell you
you can't be on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still
Yeah.
here.
And by the way, I didn't leave car and driver. I was never asked aboard.
Okay.
All right, thanks. And on that, we will leave you with a car commercial of some sort. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
They're good insight
Bye, all.
commercials.
You can express your opinion about the environment on your car, or you can do it with your car. It's America's first gasoline-electric hybrid, the Insight from Honda. The most fuel-efficient car in the world.